I know 25 and have a hard time finding girls to date because I want them to like The Legend of Zelda. Hi everyone, this might seem like a deja vu to you, but that's because I made a thread about a month ago here that was very similar to this. But I forgot what the throwaway account I used was. But basically, I'm creating this thread because things have gone for the worse and I really badly need advice. So basically, I seem to only be attracted to girls who are obsessed with The Legend of Zelda like me. A few weeks ago, I met this girl in my class who was very sweet, and quite honestly, I feel I might have a shot with her if I put in some effort. And at first, I felt like going for it. However, my brain came to its senses and figured since she doesn't like Zelda, then she's no good. And I'm honestly really sad about this. I know I make a big deal out of mentioning Zelda, but I think that in general, there is a bigger underlying problem. I am a part of a minority since my parents are immigrants in this country, and for a few years, I've only gone for girls who were culturally similar to me, as in girls who grew up with the same culture and traditions as me. This was a big deal to me, and I refused to date outside of my culture. This was, by the way, completely my desire. My parents never pressured me into this. I feel it was a part of my identity crisis that many immigrant kids go through growing up. Well, I dated a few girls who were culturally compatible with me, however things turned bad, and in general I stopped caring for my parents' culture, so I decided that I no longer wanted to date girls from my parents' culture. However, without noticing it, I must have replaced the cultural requirement with the gaming requirement. Now the girl had to share the same passion for Zelda as me, since that gaming series meant a lot to me growing up. Basically, what I think this is me being attracted to girls I have things in common with. And not just any things, it has to be things that mean a lot to me. But these requirements have meant that my dating pool is extremely small, and honestly, I wish I could stop thinking like this. But I can't. For instance, this girl I met in my class, since we don't have Zelda in common, the fear of later meeting a girl who does like Zelda will result in me getting really jealous and feel like I settled when I could have gotten my dream girl, somebody with the same passion in common. I honestly don't know how to deal with this. It's not just something I can switch off. All I can think about is just meeting a girl who shares the same love for Zelda as me. And I feel like that's the only way to get over this. Update. A lot has changed since I made that update. Actually, I can't believe it has only been a week since I posted that. It feels much longer. I started using Tinder. I figured I'd just see what it's like. Earlier today, I matched with this girl that I thought was cute. I know the chances of her liking Zelda too is slim to zero, but I'm trying so hard to push myself to send her a message. I read all of your comments in my last post, and I've thought long and hard about them. I honestly didn't know what to say to most of them, and I've considered all the advice I've received heavily. I'm just honestly feeling like I'm having a panic attack. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but I'm scared of jumping into something that I will regret. What if I send her a message and we hit it off and she doesn't like Zelda or we have nothing in common? The thought freaks me out, and I just don't know. On top of that, I keep thinking to myself that maybe if I wait it out, that one girl who likes Zelda as well will come along. But if I settle for somebody else now, then I will never end up with a girlfriend who also likes Zelda. It's so stupid. All the things I just wrote are so stupid. I know it makes no sense at all, but I'm just literally freaking out and feel like I'm having a mental breakdown. I want to send this girl on Tinder a message or just meet any girl who doesn't necessarily like Zelda, but this is all freaking me out so much. Update. This will probably be my final update because at this point I don't feel that there's anything left to do or say. I can't imagine anyone giving any sort of advice to help on my situation. So if anything, this is just more like a closure for me. So to pick up where I left off earlier this week, I sent a message to the girl on Tinder. I tried to make a short and clever joke, but it backfired since she never replied back. So that was that. I know that 95% of all the posts have told me to go to therapy. I finally made the call. Unfortunately, they told me there is a waiting list and that the earliest appointment I could get was in February. Please note that I don't live in America, so we don't really have fast therapists here. Or maybe I just haven't called the right people yet. Perhaps there are some other therapists I'm supposed to call, but the organization that I was told to call told me that all their therapists were completely booked, so that was that. I have come to the conclusion that there isn't much to do about this. I have joined a bunch of Facebook groups dedicated to Zelda, and I'm trying to make friends there, both genders. If I end up liking a girl there, then that's great. And I'd even be willing to do an online relationship and eventually move to her place if it gets so far. My career is very flexible, so I can find jobs in many places in the world. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm sorry for letting everyone down. Update. Guys, I think I'm cured. It was a strange event, but what the heck, it made me realize something. I was studying late at night in my room a few days ago. I have this shelf in my room with a bunch of Zelda collectibles and a really expensive Zelda figurine underneath it, $400 plus. Well, guess what? As luck would have it, the IKEA shelf gave in. All my collectibles fell to the ground, and the shelf knocked down my figure and destroyed it. Obviously a distressing moment for me, but it was also at that time I realized I needed to perhaps chill with this hobby, and that the hobby can still be mine without having to necessarily share it with a significant other. Of course, I would prefer if she liked Zelda too, and it would definitely be a huge plus in my book. But if I fall in love with a girl who isn't into Zelda, I guess that's just how it's going to be. I'm honestly not going to worry too much about this, to be honest. I have enough on my plate with studies as it is. Plus, I gotta take some extra shifts at work so I can replace my broken statue and collectibles. Unfortunately, some of them can't be bought anymore, but oh well, such is life. Thanks everyone for reaching out to me and helping me. This has been an eye-opener for me. I'm more than willing to date a girl who doesn't care about Zelda because, honestly, if she is just there for me and makes me happy, I feel that is all I could ask for. However, if she happens to like Zelda too, then that's great. Not a requirement, just a plus.
Please like and subscribe for more.